You're listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not. Get into the loop with us. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise. And we're your radio gateway to what's trending with beauty, fashion, music, health, and wellness.
Our guests today...
Stephen Molinelli and Kevin Ryan of Insight Financial Services, right in our own backyard.
Stephen and Kevin offer the perfect blend of talent and resources while providing value-driven strategies. Not only can they give you information for a bright and wealthy future, they're college funding advisors as well, and they will navigate and help you focus on selecting ways for you to pay for your college. And we're going to be talking with them a little bit later in the show. Now, who's sponsoring the show today?
Us, we are. Anthony Vincent Salon.
Great. So, if you're looking for a talented group of stylists who know the latest trends, treat yourself the beautiful and trust your hair in our hands.
We are the Anthony Vincent Salon.
Yes, we are. So, Elise, today, let's talk about love.
I love to talk about love.
I do. How do you know when you're in love?
How do you know when you're in love? What does it feel like?
Oh, I've been in love many, many times.
What does it feel like?
Well, most people say that love is, they would describe it as sexual passion, a desire, an obsession with someone.
See, obsession, right there, obsession is a rough word.
It is.
Because if you're obsessed with somebody, that's really not love.
You're absolutely right.
Am I?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Really? Am I? Am I
Yes.
right just this time, or am I always right?
When you find yourself with that passion, that desire, that obsession, many people will say, I thought it was love, but it was lust.
Lust.
Yes. I hear every day from our clients that come into the salon, I'm in lust with him, I'm in lust with her.
See, I hear a lot of, I'm so in love with him. Why won't he call me? I'm this, I'm that. Oh my God, you're obsessed with him. You're
That
not
is
in love with
obsession.
him. You're in lust. You want to be with him. But not that that's a bad thing to want to be with somebody, but they're obsessed with them.
What I hear a lot, and for years, because we have many young ladies working at the salon.
Yes.
And for the
Beautiful, talented, fabulous women.
Yes, they are. And I hear over and over again, Anthony, I don't know why he treats me this way. I love him so much.
You sound good like that.
I've heard it enough times.
That was good. That was a good voice.
Yeah, thank you. That's the
Were
voice
you using somebody in particular?
I was.
I don't want to know who.
I was going to say her name. She was one of my first
Really,
employees. No. And I loved her so much.
Oh, you did?
I did. She was a fabulous hairstylist and
Aw.
a fabulous lady. Rena, if you're out there,
Oh,
I am
my.
talking about you.
Oh.
I didn't mention any last names.
Yes, you did not, but that's not the point.
Rena, if you're in the neighborhood, stop in and say hello.
But don't come crying.
I miss you.
Oh, that was cute.
So
Anyway. Oh, how many times can we say anyway? Can I say anyway this
you can say
show?
it 187 times before it's too much.
Okay. I'll make sure I watch that.
Okay. The difference between acting in a loving way versus being in love. I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm going to tell you a little story about arranged marriages.
Okay.
Arranged marriages don't sound so hot to us, a Western civilization, but other cultures will do these arranged marriages. And what they actually do is they meet each other and they treat each other with mutual respect and kindness. And each of them continues every day, every week, every year with mutual respect and kindness. And what happens is that mutual respect and kindness, you notice I'm mentioning many times because it's so important, turns into and builds into a loving relationship,
A love for one another.
a love for
Yes.
one another because of the respect, because of the kindness, because of the consideration that you have for one another.
The interesting thing about this is that that's the way they're brought up. They're brought up to be in that relationship. They're brought up, they see their own families, their friends, their sisters, their brothers. Everyone has an arranged marriage where these people come from. That's just not the case where we are.
No.
That's not the case where we are. That's not how we were brought up. That's not what we know. And that's certainly not the case. I mean, look around. You know what's going on here and now. It's certainly not that. But that doesn't mean that we can't have a mutual respect and kindness for one another.
And we should. That is in every relationship
It should be.
we have, whether it is, a loving one, a friendship
It
one, a
should
work
actually
one.
be a guideline. We
Yes,
should set guidelines.
we should.
It should be a guideline.
What we're going to do is we're going to put a big sign on our front door. To enter our salon, you must have mutual
Respect and kindness.
toward everyone.
Okay.
That includes the girl at the desk, the young lady
At the shampoo
at
bar.
the shampoo bowl getting you started, the girl sweeping the floor, and of course, your hairstylist.
And me.
And your nail technician.
I
We cannot forget about the nail
and
technician.
the makeup girls, which is me too. And
So, relationships, do they take work? Yes. Relationships take work, but I don't think love does.
well, love just is unconditional. Love should be unconditional.
Do we-
I mean, do you believe in love at first sight?
I believe in lust at first sight,
But
but
do you believe in love at first sight? That was the question.
I do. I do believe in love at first sight.
Okay. Well, I do too. I think love at first sight is amazing. And I do believe in lust at first sight too, because, sometimes you see somebody and you're like, oh my God, look at, him or her or something like that. I don't know. But as far as that goes,
I believe that making an unconscious assumption about a person based on your experience of someone that you may have known in the past.
oh,
For
like falling in
example-
love with a man or a woman, based on like your mother, father, or your teacher.
Yes, absolutely. So,
Yeah.
I know when I was in kindergarten, I loved my kindergarten teacher.
My kindergarten teacher was named Elise.
Was she really? I don't remember my kindergarten teacher.
Just because you loved
but
her, though.
I
she was
loved
pretty.
her. I loved her. And mid-session in kindergarten, and I remember this like it was yesterday, they changed the boundaries of the schools, and I wound up
So
at
you
a different.
didn't see her again?
No, a different school, different
Aw.
kindergarten teacher. I was
Poor
heartbroken.
little Anthony.
Yeah,
Aw.
it was awful. So, anyway, it's time for a break, Elise.
All
Stay
right.
with us. We'll be right back.
Fabulous.
I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got chemistry? Is your salon consistent, happy, edgy, magical, impeccable, satisfying, trendy? Are you ready for anything? Say hello to beautiful.
Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did.
And we're back.
I'm sorry.
oh,
I'm sorry,
stop it,
Elise.
stop
I
it,
was
stop it.
thinking about my kindergarten teacher. I'll be fine in a minute.
All right, listeners, we are talking about love. And Anthony's having a little bit of a breakdown because he misses his kindergarten teacher.
She gives me love, love, love.
And now
love,
we're breaking
crazy
into
love.
music.
She gives me love, 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 love. Well, let's get back to
Okay.
work here, young
Keep
lady.
your day job, okay?
I definitely. I know I'm good at that.
You are, actually. You wouldn't be able to know that today by the way my hair looks, but I mean, you are pretty
Hey,
good
it's
at
a
that.
rainy day today,
I get it.
and we're gonna fix you up.
Okay.
Don't you worry about a thing.
So let's talk about preferring a certain type.
Yes, I know personally. I love a certain type.
But do they love you?
Not always.
Okay, that's a pattern. That's a pattern of attraction.
The body type that I like.
It's falling for the same type of person over and over. That's what we're talking about.
I
Not
thought
talking about the body type because you like everybody's body.
That's true, but I especially like big butts.
I know. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, yeah.
That was TMI there. That was much too much information.
Was that too much?
It was.
It was too much on your part.
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm. Yes. How do you know, though, if it's love or lust? We're back to lust for a minute. How do you know?
Well, I'm still back on the certain types and the patterns.
Okay, we'll talk about your world. Let's talk about your world.
Well, we usually do talk about my world and everyone how they fit in it.
Oh.
Now,
See what we're learning here, people.
I'm going to tell you, in my life experience,
Mm-hmm.
about types and how people fall emotionally.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about a type of woman who falls for the same type of guy. I happen to know this for sure. You can take a woman who loves, let's say, alcoholic men. You can put her in a room full of 100 men, and one of them is an alcoholic. The rest are sober. She'll find him. She will find that alcoholic guy because that is what she's used to. That's what we were talking about.
That's what she's drawn to.
The transference. She learned that very early in life that maybe, her father or her favorite uncle was an alcoholic, and that's what she's drawn to.
That's what she's drawn to?
Yeah. Also, abusive men. There are women that are drawn to abusive men. There are men that are drawn to very, very domineering women. Mm-hmm. Their mothers were domineering. Control freaks.
They need control.
Absolutely.
They need to be controlled. These men need to be controlled because they were as they were growing up.
They never thought on their own.
Right.
Their mothers always told them
what to do.
And they did it. And they're looking for a man, or a woman rather, to take the place of their moms. And if you want to know what kind of man you're getting, take a very close look at how he treats his mother. It's very likely how he's going to treat you.
And how he treats his sister, and how he treats just people in general. I mean, it doesn't only stand for the one relationship. It's really how you look at how somebody treats other people. And
a good example of that, you're out on a date. How does your date treat the waitress?
I was just going to say that.
I know that. I pulled it right out of your head.
I know you did. You have to stay out of there. I keep telling you that. You don't listen. That's because you're control. No, I'm kidding. Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
how he treats the waitress.
Absolutely.
If he respects her, if he's not,
if he's pleasant, if he's kind.
Yeah.
Or she, that's how they're going to treat you.
Eventually.
Sooner
Maybe
or later.
not this first date, or second date, but eventually they will. It will come out because you cannot hide who you are.
No, you cannot.
No.
It always comes out.
It always does.
You are who you are.
You are. And you can't change anyone either.
Okay, getting back to lust.
I love lust.
You do?
I do.
That's wonderful.
Keep
it in your keep it in your life, and it makes your relationships with your loving partner very, very exciting.
It does, absolutely.
Yeah. So lust is a charged sensation, and it combines obsession.
There's my word.
With sexual attraction.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. It's all just piled up into this whole little ball of intensity.
It doesn't always mean that a person is good or right for us.
Absolutely does not.
Right. But it does mean that there is an impulse attraction of some sort.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there, I stole your word.
The absolutely word?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to use that one today instead of anyway.
Okay. We can say that word 147 times too.
Okay.
I always tell my friends, don't be boring. My guy friends, don't be boring. So we are talking about sex and relationships today. So can I be a little explicit?
Oh, I have no problem with that.
You don't have a problem with it?
Shoot.
Oh, okay.
Go for it.
What I tell my guys, and you really need to stop me if I'm going overboard
I'll
here.
kick you.
Okay, thank you.
Don't worry.
I tell my guys to make it exciting. Women miss the excitement in their relationships. It's great to be a couch potato, watch a movie together, hold hands on the sofa, open up a bottle of wine, which really helps if you're watching a movie. Open up a little bottle of wine and have a couple of sips with your pop. It's great. But, when you're out, do something crazy.
Like what?
Well, for instance, let's say you are in the diner.
Okay.
So, you're having your dinner. Make a little trip to the restroom. Tell your lady, hey, take a walk with me. Go into the men's room, the diner. She'll be frightened to death, but she'll be so
She's going to be frightened?
She will be frightened. She's going to be scared, and maybe you might be too. And just kind of make out with her in the bathroom. The fear and the excitement of somebody walking in while you're just kissing passionately,
Here's my thought, okay? I accidentally actually walked into the men's room one day in a bar.
And made out
with
somebody?
Actually, I didn't. I was so horrified. And the poor guy at the urinal was just as horrified. Because, I walked in, and let's face it, he's peeing in the bathroom, and in comes this chick, and I turn around and I walk out. If my husband brought me into the men's room, I don't think I'd be okay with that. However, there are other places that I would go.
Where would you go?
Not the men's room.
Well, I saw the men's room. I think I saw it on the Jersey Shore. They went into the men's room with somebody.
Okay, and there was another. But were there people in there?
No, there was nobody in there.
But what if
time.
Somebody comes in and they or wait,
That's the exciting part.
Here, I don't mind somebody coming in afterwards. It would be walking in on the poor guy who thinks he's having his privacy in the bathroom.
Well, guys don't care, and
this guy did.
He did. Did he?
Yeah.
Did he stop peeing midstream when you walked in?
I don't remember. I don't recall. I really wasn't right up in his crotch.
What's he doing looking at you? Well, he should be looking at where he's peeing.
The door opened, and I guess he was just kind of there. I don't know. I was not in his head. Okay, I stay out of his head. I wasn't near any part of his head. Oh my gosh!
Elise,
look what you set up.
We gotta get off.
See, you brought up the
Our
men's room,
producer
and
is
look what
cracking
happened.
up in the background. Dwayne, are you okay back there? Dwayne, you okay?
This is what happened. This is a true story, people. Okay, all right. Let's move forward.
All right, we got to
We're out
stop
of the men's
talking
room.
about public urination over here.
We're out of the men's room.
Okay. And
So now let's go on. I think we were back into. Let's move back to lust. I love lust.
back to lust. Okay.
Okay. So here, we can go on with
Okay.
some of your other stuff, your other ideas about fun.
Okay. So give an example here.
Okay. When someone stays with the person that they've previously committed to, that's a far more loving act than leaving the person and acting on impulse just because you're lusting after somebody, or just because, like, for instance, let's just say you meet somebody and you're married and you meet somebody and you have some sort of connection with them. And so there's this infidelity thing happening. And then you leave your wife, who you've been with for 20 years, and you are having a commitment, a new commitment now with this other person. That's very impulsive. It's far more loving to try and work things out and see why it is that you had this connection with this other person, what's missing from your relationship. That kind of thing.
A friend of mine told me a little story. He's a little older than us. And he was saying to his wife that, we're like 40 years old. And do you remember the times were so different when we were in our 20s? We had that one-bedroom apartment, the black and white TV, no money in the bank. Those were such exciting times. I think I may want to trade you in for maybe 2 20-year-olds and get that excitement back in my life.
Now That would be exciting because you see, then he would probably be fulfilling a dream of his to be with two women at once.
Not necessarily at the same time, but his wife, very, very cool, explained to him, she said, that would be fine. It would be very, very exciting for you to go back to the two 20-year-olds. And you can also go back to that one-bedroom apartment, the black and white TV, and no money in the bank.
Because I'm going to take everything from you, babe. Yeah.
So that idea of the two 20-year-olds, which does not appeal to me whatsoever, it cleared his mind very, very quickly.
Okay. Well, on that note.
Tell me about, now I know there are different kinds of love.
There are.
And they come from, is it from the Greek? Are these
I
Greek
think so. I think these are like Greek words. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm not.
I'm going to pronounce them.
Yes, because you know I'm not going to get it right.
Okay. I will pronounce some of these words and we'll play with them. So here's the first one. This is called philia. And that's a deep love between friends and family. And here, you like this one, ludus.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about that love between friends
you
and
like
family.
This. Oh, you want to talk about friends and family, or you want to talk about ludus? I think ludus is much more fun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, ludus is a playful love.
Yeah.
It's very flirty and it's very affectionate.
Yes.
And we do that in the salon a lot.
Yeah.
This playful, because I love all of my clients. I truly do. We have such a wonderful rapport between all of our stylists, nail technicians, and support staff.
What a blessing, really.
Yeah. What I see is when clients come into our salon, they actually hug and kiss each other and say goodbye and say hello.
This is a great love.
Yeah. What is that?
Pragmatic. It's caring, mutual impact, priority. Actions are backed up with a lifetime of commitment. That's a great one.
That really is wonderful. That lifetime commitment, that pragmatic love, it really, really is probably the most important. We are going to take a break now for station identification. If you're just joining us now, we are Trend Radio, and we talk about what's hot and what's not. Get into the loop with us. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise. And we're your radio gateway to what's trending with beauty, fashion, music, health, and wellness.
Remember, tune in to Trend Radio every Saturday at 10 a.m. with us, Anthony and Elise.
You'll be glad you did.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For longer, thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
So, I know we've been talking about love, but let's just talk about why girls like jerks. So, Anthony, tell me why. Why do girls like jerks?
It's not that they're jerks.
Really?
No. These guys exude confidence. Guys like us. Guys like me. Guys who want to be like me.
Oh, guys who want to be like you.
That's right.
Oh, I understand now.
What these guys do is they exhibit narcissistic traits, and that's really what helps you score.
So you think that the narcissistic guy is more attractive?
At the moment of introduction, absolutely.
Why?
Because just kind of go out to a nice little place and, maybe the music is playing, maybe the game is on, you're having a drink, or wherever you may meet people of the opposite sex.
Okay.
There is going to be a group of guys holding up the wallpaper. They're kind of hanging out there and they're blending into that wall. What a narcissistic guy will do is he's got confidence in himself. He will see a couple of attractive girls or something that's appealing to him. What's attractive?
Something that's appealing to him.
Something that's
How
appealing.
do you like that phrase?
And he will zero in on those gals.
Oh.
And he will introduce himself, which is the first thing.
He is the socially bold one. Huh.
He is socially bold. He will say, "Hey, how you doing? My name is Anthony."
That's what he's going to say?
Well, not Anthony Vincent. His name is Anthony Joseph.
Oh.
Yes. Anthony Vincent, don't do that.
Oh, I understand. Oh, really?
No.
Oh. Are you a shy guy, Anthony?
No, not at all. But
That's
getting
great.
back to what Anthony Joseph might do.
Okay. He also has 2 first names.
Yes, he does. You got to watch
Is
the
he
guys
one
with
of your
two-
personalities?
No, he is not. He is not. And he will introduce himself. And then he'll ask those girls, "Where are all the pretty girls at?"
He's going to do that.
He will do that, and they'll laugh and they'll giggle, and he'll ask some sort of question. And being bold like that will make him more attractive. These NARS,
NARS guys.
the NARS guys, as they are so affectionately called, they are very outgoing and socially bold. They are self-assured and confident. And that's really the most important thing, the confidence. That's what attracts the attention. Guys who are confident don't necessarily have to be all that attractive. When-
But wait a second. Confidence. When you are confident and you walk into a room and you just hold your head up high, your shoulders are back, your back is straight, you look fabulous, you feel fabulous, you look more attractive. Whether you are or whether you're not, you do.
You're absolutely right on that one.
I'm 100% right on that one. I know.
I'm going to tell you another story
You tell me another story.
about my sister. My sister used to work at the casino. She was
Okay.
a croupier.
Okay.
And her best friend was a pit boss there, and he was not all that attractive. He was tall and lanky. He had a big nose. He had kinky hair.
I know someone who looks like that.
Well, he had droves of women surrounding him.
He was confident, wasn't he?
He was confident. He had a sense of humor. He was a nice guy. Now, just because you're narcissistic and confident and bold doesn't mean that you should give up the nice guy thing.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Right.
No, it's okay. It's okay to be nice. You should always be nice.
Always
and
be nice.
Always be respectful
Yes.
and smile and be sweet. But here's what I will say to you shy guys. It's okay to borrow a little bit of confidence
Absolutely.
and hold your head up high and try, because you're just as worthy as anybody.
Absolutely. And you probably have as much, if not more, to offer. You just don't have the confidence. Have that confidence, build it, go right up and say something.
Just hi. Hi, how are you this evening?
My name is blah,
Definitely
blah, blah.
don't say your name again.
Don't say my name. Say your name.
That's pretty funny. Can you imagine? You know how many Anthony Josephs are going to start calling us now? Say, what are you doing? You're getting me in trouble now. He's going to be in trouble with, I don't know. Hopefully not. So,
Okay, Elise, we are about ready for, do you know what we're ready for?
what are we ready for, Anthony? Tell me.
We're ready for our guests. They'll be coming in shortly.
Awesome.
And these are really, really great guys.
I love our guys.
Yeah, we've met with them a couple of times, and
We have a great rapport.
absolutely, yeah,
We have a great rapport.
yes, we do.
Let's introduce them.
Do you want to introduce them
I
now?
do.
Alrighty.
Yes. Today we are with Stephen Molinelli and Kevin Ryan of Insight Financial Services, 65 South Main Street, Pennington, 609-730-4940. That's Insight Financial Services, LLC.com.
And this is another group that is right in our own backyard.
Yes.
Yeah, they have over 30 years experience in the financial industry. Stephen and Kevin offer a broad perspective to the issues that are relevant with financial planning. Together, they provide a holistic approach to help you and for you to enjoy a bright and wealthy future.
Wonderful.
So let's not delay our guest right now. Let's have a big hand for them.
All right. Oh, I guess I'll clap too then. Yeah. Hey, guys.
Hello there, Stephen and Kevin. How you guys doing today?
Great. Fantastic. Good to see you guys. Thanks for having us.
Fabulous.
our
It's
pleasure.
great to have you here. Now, today, you guys are going to be talking about financial planning
Well,
and
yeah,
how to pick a financial planner.
that's correct.
Absolutely.
So where does a person start when they decide that they need to have a financial plan?
Well, usually people come to the realization that they need to have a financial plan one of two ways. One, because they find themselves in a situation where their finances are not working out for them. And they say, well, we need to do this in a more organized way. And so how do we get started? The other thing, circumstance where people come to the realization is they're smart and they say, well, we need to start early. And when they come to that realization, they will come to us or they'll ask themselves a question, well, how do we go about figuring this out? Most people are not really capable of doing it 100% on their own because there are things that they need to know that they just may not be aware of. Other people feel that they can take it upon themselves. They read a lot of newspapers and they hear a lot of things and they try to do things on their own. They don't want to give up control. But
Control is a big issue.
well, control is always an issue when it comes to people's money.
What about the guy who is always giving a tip to somebody?
Um,
What do you say about that?
Yeah,
well,
brother-in-law
I know the answer.
At the holiday party or something?
Yeah, it's the one.
Well, one of the things that I've always said, and doing this a long time, is that by the time a hot tip usually gets to someone, it's so hot that it's already melted away, or it's cooled off quite a bit. Tips and such, sure, there's information out there all the time, but the people that have the edge on information are the big institutions, people that are in the know. I'd be very cautious about taking tips from someone at a cocktail party or a barbecue or something like that. And it's not that the idea or the tip might not have some validity to it, but there are a lot of things that need to be looked into. There are all sorts of people out there.
And the way those things usually work, of course, you hear about the ones that worked and where people tripled and quadrupled their money, but majority of them didn't work, and you don't hear about those.
Nobody talks about that.
Exactly.
But those are the people that are actually in a lot of trouble.
Sometimes
need to
people
find you.
try to, at least sometimes people try to latch onto these tips out of desperation.
Right.
Oh, I need this, and there's no real way to get rich quick. You know, if
Oh,
there was a
no.
way to get rich quick, I'm not saying I would have been smart enough to figure it out, but I think enough people like me, they may have let me in on the secret. We've yet to find out. Wealth is accumulated in most instances over time. It's an accumulation process, and the way we practice, we advocate that you look at long-term planning, look at things for the long term. Even a long-term plan is going to have short-term and intermediate-term goals to it, and that's got to be defined. But it happens over time.
And people that we encounter people that are asking about, whatever they heard on the news that day, and whether the market's up 100 points or down 200 or whatever. In the long term, it really becomes it's just a data point. So the media, of course, likes to create some situations and get people all upset. But when
Yes,
it comes
they
right down
do.
to it, if you have a plan that you have worked through and worked with, particularly with an advisor, that's the people that we work with. They're not calling us when they hear the market's been down 200 points because they understand that next week it's going to be different, and they have a plan in place that they're comfortable and confident with.
Isn't it good that when the market is down 200 points, it might be a great time to enter?
Well, again, that's something that a lot of people ask us, and a lot of people believe that. But I would point out that, of course, when you can buy something at a low price, at what you believe the low is, sure it is. But long-term planning is not about trying to time the market, Anthony. Long-term planning is creating a plan that is going to have you be comfortable so that you can navigate when the markets are not acting well and when they are acting well. Anyone who says, well, this stock is at its low point now and I'm going to buy it, they don't know that for sure. They don't know. And so getting into that or trying to get into that is dangerous because it doesn't work that way. It's not timing.
So then how does an individual go about finding a wealth advisor that they can trust?
Besides just calling us right away?
Other than calling you guys.
People go about it different ways. Word of mouth is usually something. They'll ask someone, hey, I'm looking to work with somebody. Do you know someone? That's one way. Some people in this day and age, people are going online and they're looking at they're looking up financial advisors in New Jersey, financial advisors in Pennsylvania, whatever, and they'll go online and they'll start to vet those financial advisors. They'll start to try to get information on them. And,
or they're asking their other professional relationships. That's a very good way. Your CPA, tax planning attorney, some of those relationships that you might have in the financial arena or an insurance person. And these are all cultivated relationships that we have had as well. So we then work with a lot of the different professionals to refer each other back and forth. People that we're very comfortable and confident with, and so that's the way we find our best ways to get clients.
What attracted Elise and I to you guys was, we were reading a little bit about you, and you did not call yourselves financial advisors. You called yourself wealth management.
Yeah, wealth advisors.
Wealth advisors, which really caught my eye, and Elise's too. So I felt as though that you guys have a little different approach, a little more what us as individuals are looking for. Financial planning to me sounds a little boring.
Meeting the two of you though, you are two people that we would refer to our friends, to people that we meet because we feel very comfortable with you.
Mm-hmm. Well,
we have a great rapport. Oh, you're very welcome. But we have a great rapport. But we also just in listening to you, the information that you give, it's part of who you are. It's what you say. We see the passion in your eyes. It's part of who you are.
Well, part of this, I'm sorry, but really, it's about the individual that we're working with. Not about what the markets are doing, what particular products or other services that we may be able to offer people. It's really about learning who they are and how they feel about certain things, what other aspects, where their risks in their lives are, and how we might address those and make sure that we have addressed everything that we've defined as their needs and that they've explained to us. And then we put a whole plan together, not just the investment part, but whether there's other aspects of their lives, whether it's insurance to protect their loved ones, a college plan, obviously retirement plan. So these are all parts of it, and it's not just one size fits all.
Right.
We don't advocate we don't advocate the use of a quote unquote cookie cutter approach, as Kevin said. Everybody's different, and you can talk to a married couple, and you can see they could be married for 10 years and have dated 3 years before that. There's a 13-year relationship there, and they could have very, very different feelings about what risk tolerance is. They may even have some differences in where they see themselves in retirement. Somebody may say, the husband may say, I want to be out playing golf all the time, and the wife might say, well, I want to be traveling. So,
they're going to travel to some place where he can play golf.
Well, there you go. That's the perfect relationship.
If he's a smart man, he'll pick his battles and he'll
he
do
can
that.
Play golf, but she wants to explore, somewhere. So
people have different. They a lot of it is about what are your goals and dreams. It sounds corny when you're talking about finances because everybody thinks it's numbers, but it's what are your goals and dreams, and we will build a financial plan that we hope that we feel strongly will enable you to get to those goals, to get to that goal, get to those dreams little by little over time.
Okay, then. For those of you who are joining us now, we're here with Stephen Molinelli and Kevin Ryan of Insight Financial Services, 65 South Main Street, Pennington, 609-730-4940. That's Insight Financial Services, LLC.com.
Stephen and Kevin offer the perfect blend of talent and resources while providing a value-driven strategies. Not only can they give you the information for a bright and wealthy future, they're college funding advisors as well. They will navigate and help you focus on selecting ways for you to pay for your college.
Okay, so that brings us back, and we're here having just these wonderful questions answered. And here's one that I'm sure a lot of people are concerned about. How do wealth advisors charge for their services? So how do you guys get paid?
We have a couple of different approaches.
Okay.
Most of our clients pay us a percentage that we arrange, we agree on, based on the assets that they have under management.
Okay.
That's the macro view. That fee or that percentage is going to be based on a number of things. Number one is going to be the nature of the investments. Okay? If a person is going to pay us a percentage, let's just say 1%, and the bulk of that person's portfolio is made up of fixed income securities or interest rate securities. Well, we know that interest rates today, they're so low, 1% might be way too high. And we may say in this instance, look, let's not do these on a fee basis. Let's purchase these securities for you. There will be a charge for each security that we purchase, but more than likely, clients like that are going to be holding the bonds until they mature. So there's not going to be a tremendous amount necessarily of ongoing day-to-day management.
Wow.
Okay? It would be unfair for us we don't think it would be in the client's best interest to charge a fee. Where portfolios are blended, where there's a combination of individual stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and other types of investments, we'll negotiate a fee. And we'll figure out a fee. And we'll point out not only what they get for the fee, but if there are investments in the portfolio that have transparent fees to them, we'll explain that as well. So we do have clients that pay us 100% on a fee basis. We have clients that pay a combination, and we have clients that pay us a combination of both, and we have clients that pay us strictly on a commission basis.
Oh, that's wonderful.
The
That's
idea of
wonderful.
having doing it on a fee basis as opposed to on a per item basis, like that's the classic stockbroker type model. A transactional business. On a fee base, we're basically on the same side of the table. So as their portfolio grows and it gets more valuable, we get paid more. Consequently, alternatively, it's if it goes down, we get paid less. So it's not like an adversarial thing where we've seen situations where people, and I don't mean to say adversarial, but where we've seen portfolios where there were so many transactions that took place, and even in this day and age with so many people aware of that, so many transactions took place that the only one that was making money was the stockbroker, and the client really wasn't. So it's something that we really feel very strongly about, working on a fee basis.
How would you advise a young couple getting married today? They're engaged and they want to save for their wedding. What would you advise them? How would you take that approach?
One of our favorite questions is regarding young couples that are planning on getting married or that have just been married. Young people getting married are full of hopes and dreams. They've got their future and they're looking, and at one point we want to have children, and at one point we want to have a house, and they're all full of hopes and dreams, things that are going to make them happy and contribute to hopefully a long and successful marriage. If we were sitting with a couple and said their first priority was they're going to take whatever money they make on their wedding and they want to buy a house, right now I would tell them, I'm going to put that money in cash and I'm going to hold on to it. I don't really care, and I know Kevin agrees with me on this. We've been partners for quite a while. If the stock market is performing very well, very strong, okay, But those people know that in 6 months' time or so, they want to buy a home. That stock market, for those of you who are old enough to remember, that stock market can turn around on a dime.
Oh, yeah.
And it always seems to go down a lot quicker than it comes back up. Okay, so we would say, look, you guys want to buy a house? You've got $50,000 here in savings. We're going to advise you to keep that money in cash.
I would actually
We
be
might,
happy to hear that.
10 years ago, we may have said, look, you're going to buy a house and you're going to start to look, and it's going to take you 6 months or so. And when do you want to buy the house? Well, about a year. We probably would have put together a very conservative portfolio of certificates of deposit for them, some maturing in 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, because the interest rates were very attractive then. You could get, when you see these 10 years ago, at 6.8%. But now,
Is that called
no.
laddering?
that would be laddering. It's exactly what it is.
Oh.
Look at you.
Anthony.
Wow.
Anthony's financial
He
advisor
was
has
just
Let me start asking you
talking
questions.
to me
We're gonna-
about this last week.
Anthony's financial advisor has taught him well.
I
I
am
act-
not just another pretty face.
No, I asked him a question, and he actually explained that to me. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So we would tell those people to just put the money in a safe place. You never know when you're going to need it.
Right. Right.
Let's get that goal accomplished.
Okay.
And then we'll build off that.
Okay.
Are there, in some situations, models that many people could fall into, or is every individual a completely different story and needs something different?
Good question.
Well, certainly, first of all, we do approach everybody as a total individual and with different needs and requirements. But yes, there are models that we construct for a portion of what we're going to suggest for their investment part. So, and those are risk-based, whether they're going to be totally aggressive, moderately aggressive, moderate, conservative, or moderately conservative. And we'll construct something like that just so that we have a basic format from which to start on our investment platform. But beyond that, no one size fits all. Again, we may take a piece of their super aggressive model, maybe take and then add that to a fixed income using individual bonds portfolio. So we'll, so there's a lot of different varieties. So I guess to answer your question is there are models, but they're only a piece of the total program, not the end all and the be all.
I have a question for you, Anthony.
Okay.
In
Shoot.
terms of models, we Elise is laughing. Elise could be a model.
Oh.
But in terms of models, there are two things that I think of when someone asks about models. And one is what Kevin just explained, which is, you might hear the term model portfolio and all that stuff, and a lot of thought and lots of different quantitative type analysis gets involved in this and all. But there's also the question of a personality model. Everybody's different, but people fall into certain categories of, and there's a lot of good data on this when it comes to behavioral finance. We hear the term type A personality, but there are different models for that too.
Stephen, I'm going to interrupt you for just 1 minute because I just want to give your address. Okay? We're here again. I just want everybody to know with Stephen Molinelli and Kevin Ryan of Insight Financial Services. It's right in our own backyard at 65 South Main Street in Pennington. 609-730-4940. That's Insight Financial Services, LLC.com.
We're having a great time here with Stephen and Kevin today. They have more than 30 years experience in the industry. Stephen and Kevin offer a very broad perspective to the issues relevant to financial planning. Together, they provide a holistic approach to help you enjoy a bright, healthy, and wealthy future.
Absolutely. They're fabulous guys. So we were actually just talking about the model portfolio, and I interrupted you, so I'd love to hear the rest of this.
Elise, could I interrupt you for
course.
one second? Just it's very subtle, but when you're giving our address, the big thing is as for stockbrokers, financial advisors, whatever you want to call whoever you're working with, we're not concerned about Wall Street as much as it is Main Street. And that's
I
where
said
we're
Wall
located.
Street.
No.
No, you didn't.
We are
never said
located
Main-
on Main Street.
I never said Main Street.
You did.
You did.
Yeah.
My
65
point
South
is,
Main.
we're on Main Street, and
Oh.
we're working with people that live on Main Street. You know,
Oh,
not
oh
worried
my
about
gosh.
the Wall Street
You know, that
thing.
just went right over my head.
Main
Yes, it did.
You are
Yeah.
real advisors for
Wow.
real people.
Exactly.
Main
That is
Street,
really important.
Main Street, USA.
And you guys are located there.
We
That's
Right
right.
in our own backyard.
Right in our own backyard.
you oftentimes hear the term smart money. And the smart money, it's not that, well, the smart money basically refers to the institutional investors. These are the guys and the ladies that have the edge. They're just by virtue of the fact that they're committing huge amounts of dollars consistently, they're going to get the information first. It's just the way it works. Even with all the communication out there today, they're still going to have an edge on that information. I think the governing bodies and the authorities are doing everything that they can to level the playing field. But the fact of the matter is, the institutions are still going to have the benefit. Our job is to take what we know and the information that we have readily available to us and get it to our clients. Get it, and it doesn't have to be something that, you need to know this a minute after it happens. Kevin came up with a great saying that we use all the time, and it has really become, I think, for our company, Kevin and I, our partnership, a mantra, which is, it's not about the market, it's about the plan. So this information that comes, so quickly and so many times a day, is it important? Yeah, Kevin referred to it a little bit earlier and said, 5 years from now, whatever the market did today is going to be a data point. What effect it's going to have on your financial plan, we don't know. But we're not going to react to news. Main Street is what this country was built on. This country was built from scratch on the backs of people that came over and started their own businesses and worked really hard to build their businesses. And from that, we got the big companies and all that stuff. But you know what? Main Street is our. That's what we're passionate about.
You're located on Main Street.
Yep.
Your clientele is on Main Street.
Right.
How often do you interact with your clients?
We believe that interaction with the client is the most important thing. How often do we interact with our clients? Anthony, if you were a client of mine and we had an issue, there may be a period of time there where you and I and Kevin were talking to each other twice a day, every day for 2 weeks. That's unusual, okay? We believe that the client should talk to their financial advisor a minimum of 4 times a year, once a quarter. However, when people are talking to us about becoming clients of ours, they're interviewing us.
Correct.
Well,
Right.
Absolutely.
we're interviewing them also, because if the relationship is going to work, they have to know. They have to call us.
Chemistry.
Yeah, they have to
Chemistry.
call. If somebody's born, they need to call us. If somebody dies, they need to call us. If somebody gets laid off, they need to call us. If somebody gets a raise, they need to call us. If they don't need to call us if they're thinking about buying a 56-inch television. We just would say to them, look, just make sure your wall isn't 48 inches and you'll be okay. You can make that decision on your own. But they should call us anytime there's a change in their lives, because that's what affects the plan. We don't care what the market
And that's
is
what
doing.
this is based on.
That's what it's based on. As financial advisors, we can only contribute we can only control 4 things. We can control risk. And how are we going to control that? By constantly talking to our clients, knowing where their risk tolerance may change. We can control, to a degree, taxes. We can't control the tax laws, but if we know what our client situations are, we can make sure that Kevin and I are working hard to make sure that we construct the portfolio so that the portfolios are being managed on the most tax efficient basis. That's probably another topic for another show.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We can control our fees. And the last thing we can control is our level of service. But that's all that we can control. But all of that is going to work well together by contacting the client. So a minimum of 4 times a year. And if they say they want to hear from us 3 times a day, every day,
Well, then
I don't
you
think
know there's an issue.
Well, Kevin
that's a
and I
problem, yeah.
probably
Yeah.
don't talk to our respective spouses that often, which probably makes our spouses very happy. But then that's a person who is clearly not looking at the long term. They're looking at that market timing. Can I buy it at the low and sell it at the high? And we don't practice that way.
Okay.
It's really about, if they have any questions, they know to call us at any time. If they get something in the mail that they have a question about, they call us. They have our office numbers, they have our cell phone numbers, they have our email addresses.
Oh, that's
We're very
wonderful.
available.
I'm sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, and I was going to say, and then beyond that, again, we have an investment portfolio put together for them based on what we've constructed. But if we need to make any adjustments to that, we feel it's necessary, we'll call them. And if we're going to do any tweaking of the portfolio, which is pretty much what all we do is tweak it, well, and we'll be in touch. But otherwise, on a quarterly basis, pretty much.
We talked about chemistry just a minute ago, and I have always believed if you want to be successful, surround yourself with successful people. And Elise, I think we need to embrace these guys, and our listeners need to embrace these guys.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a wealth of knowledge here.
a wealth of knowledge. Yeah.
Absolutely. These guys are amazing. They're great. And they know what they're talking about.
We don't have any clients that we don't like. If for some
We
reason,
were just talking about
if for
that.
some reason we have, and we go through our, we Kevin and I talk every day, and if there's a client that we have, and that client has a lot of money with us, but that client is difficult to deal with. They're not fun. They're being abusive, or we say to ourselves, the compromising the quality of one's life happens enough that you can't control. We like all of our clients. We have relationships with all of our clients that we cherish. They're all gifts to us as we are to them in a different way. And
That's
it's
awesome.
a very, very, you have to feel that way, because if you don't.
And Stephen, we love the relationship that we are building
With you.
with you guys. And
Absolutely.
we
And we
would
can't-
absolutely love to have you back on
We
the
can't
show
wait.
again. Yeah,
Both of you.
You guys have so much knowledge to share. I would just absolutely love it. But we got to close right now.
Yeah.
You have been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not, every Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
If you have a topic of interest that you want us to talk about, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us now, trendradio920@gmail.com.
You'll be glad you did. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.